Alright, good morning world. It's a little dark. 5:20 in the morning on March 27th, 2020, or I'm sorry, 2022. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. Sunday morning. Alright, blinky light is going. I guess that means it's time to roll. I got asked to move. Apparently several of the truck drivers thought I was in an unsafe spot, even though I was behind a tree 30 feet off of the paved surface. Yeah. Anyway, I thought maybe they think I'm just homeless. It's like, no, I've got a home. I'm just not going there right now. Moon is just coming up. It's going to be about another hour and a half until sunrise. I've got about an 80-mile ride for today. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go back to the truck stop, park legally somewhere. Hopefully I don't get ran over by the cars. That's more of a concern than the trucks were. Use the restroom, get a cup of coffee, and work my way out of town. And I've got a full charge, or nearly full charge, so I should be good. If I can get an hour in before the sun even gets up, that should put me well on the way. If I'd run 5 or 10 miles an hour, that's better than nothing kind of thing. So that's the plan. So off we go. I have never seen this many thorns ever. It's like, yeah, I walked around here a little bit getting things set up again, and I swear 30 thorns in the bottom of my shoes just from walking around. So I get back on the paved surface and then stop and pull all the thorns out of the tires. I've got the slime in there, so that should seal them up again. The front one was pretty low this morning, so the thing with the slime is you have to get the tire to rotate a few times for the slime to hit all the holes. So hopefully it's good. I got one spare tire and tube that's easy to put on, and then I've got at least three more spare tubes. So it doesn't make any sense to patch it here and then go through the thorns again. Is kind of the idea. Yeah, life on the road, always interesting. And no focus. All right, get moving. Get some coffee. Most of the coffee in the thermos that's underneath there. Drink a little bit this morning. I'll have some Cliff bars and energy, whatchamacallit, protein bars. Gas here. I'm in Anthony, Texas, which is on the state line with New Mexico. $4.29 for unleaded and $5 a gallon for diesel, $5.09. Wow, that's got to affect things. All right. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if I could have got away with sleeping over here. I was like, because it's like everybody else is sleeping over here. I don't know. I should have asked, I guess. Maybe that's the trick next time. I think the way to look at this, be close to a truck stop, but maybe not on their property. So what I ended up doing, you see the cat sign there, I was against that wall, and when they asked me to move, I looked over the wall and I could see a road was behind there, just a dirt road through a vacant lot. So I walked all the way around past the KFC, looked back there, and I was like, okay. So I ended up just, since the cot was already set up and I didn't want to take it apart again, I just picked it up and laid it over the other side of the wall, and then rode the bike around, and then parked, and then walked over and picked up the cot. I was like, oh, it's a little bit easier, but I don't know. Some of this is going to need some work. I guess if you're stealth camping, the whole idea of stealth is to not leave your solar lights turned on so everybody can see you. And yeah, I was talking about the thorns. These are the thorns I picked out of my shoe just now, and then I realized I just walked right through them again. So front tire's got a leak. I think it's going to be a slow leak, so I'm going to pump it up again just before I start riding. And usually when I'm moving, the slime will eventually fill up the leak, but you might have to stop and pump it up a few times. If it gets too bad, then I'll swap it out. But changing tires is going to be just a real pain on this. I mean, there's not going to be an easy way to do it, honestly. I think probably the simplest if I lay the bike down completely on its side, and then I can put something underneath it and get the wheel up off the ground and then pull it out sideways. That's pretty much it, I guess. Even if I didn't have the trailer with all the stuff on the handlebars, I can't just put the bike upside down like you usually would without hitting everything. So jack stands. I should have brought the jack stands. I was thinking about some kind of maintenance stand or something, like, you know, on a motorcycle you got the center stand, or, you know, mine did, and that would make it a little bit easier. At least then you could pull the rear wheel off. So I kept thinking about it, but I didn't have any ideas really that would work, that I thought would work. So anyway, quick coffee, and we're gonna hit the road. Sunrise is gonna be about an hour from now, but it's Sunday morning. I'm expecting, because I'm not riding on the freeway, I'm riding, there's a parallel highway that should be pretty quiet on a Sunday morning, I'm hoping. I guess we'll see. If it's too dicey, I'll wait for sunrise, but I got my reflective vest, and I'll leave this white lights are on, I'll turn the strobe on. My headlight works really good. I'm really excited about that. I don't think I showed this one before. This was a flashlight. I didn't put the switch in a very convenient spot because I didn't expect to use it very often. But just reach down. Yeah, shows up pretty good. So we'll try it out. I came in on this road, and I just realized that, I mean, I saw it when I came in. The other direction is blocked off. It looks like it's one way now. I don't know if it's permanently one way. But right up here, just on the edge of the property, there's a road that goes back. And so it'll set me back about half a mile, but we're gonna be going, that way is the surface road, and that way is the freeway. It's all downhill that way. So from what I could see on the route planning, it's about 80 miles to a campsite that has showers, so I'm looking forward to that. The first 40 miles is basically level, I think. Then there'll be a hill or two. So I figure if I leave early, I should be able to make it. Forecast was partly cloudy, but I'm still seeing some stars, so hoping to get a lot of sun. All right, coffee, go. All right, about 6:30 in the morning, New Mexico. State number 2, we're on our way. Okay. It's starting to get light in the sky, so about another half an hour to sunrise and about another 2 hours before we get any useful sun on the panels. I'm just pedaling, I'm not running electrics. I got it turned on in case I need it, but forward and onward. Guess which one cost more, right? Anyway, we're getting into Las Cruces. Stopped at a local dollar store. I just realized before I rolled into town here, I forgot to fill up my water bottles at the truck stop. So I'm gonna figure out a spot that the 1 gallon will fit when it's empty. I think I can put it right down in here. A lot of these places have a little refill station. You can refill that gallon for 30 cents. So anyway, I'm going towards a campsite. I think I can make it today. It was about 80 miles from Anthony. I'm going north, following Interstate 25 now. Las Cruces is where I-10 goes west and I-25 starts and goes north. I don't know how much cell phone coverage I'm going to get further up the road, so I figure if I post something now, you'll know where I was, at 9 o'clock in the morning anyway. And depending on how much the campsite costs, I might stay there for 2 days and kind of do a recovery day. We'll see how it goes. So if I don't post for a day or two, I'm probably in a campsite with no cell phone coverage. They do have showers though, so that seems like a good idea. Also, it's near a lake or a river or something like that, so worst case I can heat up a little bit of water or just tough it out. I think toughing it out sounds like a bad idea this time of year though. Alright, so that's that. We got waters and sun is up. Life is good. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for all your support. Okay, I'm about 25 miles from Hatch, going towards Hatch. Crossing a bridge. The sign says this is the Rio Grande. No wonder they can all walk across it. Not much of a barrier here. Now we're nowhere near the border, but I've heard it doesn't get much deeper down there either, so yeah, that could be part of the problem. Need more, I don't know, something. Walls? Gators. We need it. We need alligators. That would solve that problem. We should deputize the gators. It's about noon now. I've been riding for about 4 hours. It was 6 when I left Anthony. I'm just starting to get into some hills now, and the GPS app shows the profile of the hill. So in about a mile we're going to hit a really steep one. It looks like it only goes up about 300 or 400 feet in about 2 miles, so it's going to be kind of abrupt, and then it levels off on the top, and then we come back down, and then we come back up and back down again, and then it's the campsite in about 45 miles. So I've been stopping, letting the battery charge up. And we're just about there, so I'm going to load up and hit it. And then I've been pedaling off and on, just pedaling, no electrics today. I pulled the battery down a bit this morning, so I figured if I knew the hill was coming, so I'd pedal for a mile or two and then use the electrics and kind of cycle it. And now it's, noon now, so the sun is about as high as it's going to get, so that's perfect timing because I'm right at the hill now, so anything after this should be easier. Things are doing good. I mentioned the thorns in the tire. They're holding now, which is kind of what I was expecting. Oh, there's another one. These things are murder. I don't know if that'll show up or not. The little kind of triangle one, so there's always one pokey thing sticking out. They aren't long. I think what it is, they're not quite long enough to get all the way through the tire. So these tires have a inner hard liner in them. They're about $80 tires, I think, if you bought them. They came with the electric motor, so I got them for, not free, but for what I paid for the motors, the tires were free, basically. So that worked out good. All right, stop talking, start climbing. Okay, it's about 5 o'clock, quarter after 5 now. 4:30, I got to the gate of the campsite. I'm going to look up the distance in a minute here. That is, that's a good feeling to make it that far. But in typical Carlin fashion, as I get to the gate, I hear a pop. It's like the last, I don't know, half an hour maybe. I started hearing a weird noise, and I couldn't figure out. It's like I'm looking around. Okay, wheels aren't loose. Look on the back. Look on the front. It was a definite sound. I couldn't see it. Well, I stopped to register, and I happened to look down. Oh, okay, I've got a broken spoke. Second broken spoke. Third. I think I got 4. 2, 3. Yeah, 4. 4 in a row, basically. I specifically brought this bike because I haven't broken any spokes on it yet. I think the day after I started building this bike to get it ready, I broke a spoke. Hadn't had any since before that. But I think it's like I'm hitting some big bumps. Like, you know, you hit a bridge, thunk, you know, or the tar strips. One of the roads I was on, I swear there was a tar strip every 4 feet. Tunk, 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 tunk. So the wheels and stuff were just taking and beating. What I'm going to do, I'm going to soften up the suspension. I think that'll help because I put it really stiff. Because when you're pedaling, it's working against you. You know, you push down and the bike just sinks. So, great neighborhood dog, hopefully. As long as he's not interested in me, right? Yeah, anyway. So, I'm here for 2 nights. It looks like I've got cell phone coverage. So, that worked out good. I decided I was going to be here for 2 nights because I really pushed it hard today and I'm just wiped out. So now that I see I got spokes to fix and some other stuff, I don't have to do it tonight. I can relax a little bit and just do it tomorrow. It's going to involve at least taking the wheel off. There's the other half. So it's going to involve taking the wheel off and then taking the sprockets off. I've got all the tools to do it, so it's not a big deal. I brought a whole package of spokes. Figured this would be an ongoing thing. As I replace the spokes, this is one of the new ones. I think that's the only new one on this one. They're better, so they shouldn't break. I don't think I've broken any of the new ones yet. So, yeah, anyway. Man, we have put in a great big old day today. 6 o'clock I left Anthony. So, okay, I'm gonna sit down and eat something. No wonder I'm tired. I just checked Google Maps, 82 miles, and I think I went further because I took the secondary road, which wasn't as direct as the interstate. So that's a pretty good haul. Batteries took a hit the afternoon. I was really working at trying to get the last little bit out of them. I mean, I wasn't quite down to drop off, but I'm at like 38 out of 41, something like that. 36 is pushing it. I was seeing 36 is going up the hills. Batteries always sag when you're under load. It's like starting your car. The lights will get dim when you're cranking, and then when you stop, the battery recovers, and these do the same. So, yeah, that was a pretty good ride. This is like I said on the other video, this is redemption. I kept thinking, man, my goal is to be able to do 100-mile days when we get to the Sun Trip. And one of the things I'm looking at, there's a couple guys that live in the area, and we've been emailing back and forth, and I think what I can do is leave all of my extra stuff there, because it's going to be just 5 days and it's a loop. So if I can offload a lot of stuff and then look at the route and see if I can buy water as I go and that kind of stuff, so I don't have to haul as much. So if I can get up to, I mean, if I did over an 80-mile day today, although conditions were really good, there was virtually no wind, and then a little bit of headwind, and then no wind, and then a little bit of tailwind. And there was a spot, I think it's on the other video earlier, where I'd been looking at the GPS and it showed hill profiles, and it made it look really bad, and I just breezed up it. And I'm like, I actually stopped at the top to look at the GPS. It was like, was that the hill, or is there a bigger one coming? It's like, no, that was it. I'm like, okay. But what happened was, I just happened to get lucky. I mean, I got rolling at 6 o'clock, so that helped a lot. But I got to that hill at noon, where I had the most possible sunlight, so the battery was really doing good. And then the last couple hours of the afternoon, it slowly clouded up, and right now it's pretty overcast. Not getting even an amp of charge right now. So, but if I'm sitting here all day tomorrow, that's fine. And I'll get a chance to get a good charge all tomorrow, and then I'll be ready to leave the next day. So that'll give me time to recover and figure out my plan. So, yeah.
anyway, yeah, like I said, I've got all the tools. I've got spare spokes, so I can do the fix. So thankfully, I've got lots of experience doing that, so it's not a big deal. I tell you what, I'm really liking having a picnic table. This is all right. The campsite here was $10 a night for the basic sites since I didn't need hookups. I was like, yeah. Oh, and there's showers apparently. I don't know if it's hot, but there is showers and camp restrooms. And what happened was I ended up, when I realized I had one broken spoke earlier, okay, fine. Stop and I figure out registration, didn't have a pen, just happened to be a park services, I guess. He was just leaving. It's Sunday at 4:30, so he was just leaving. It was self-serve on check-in, so I caught him and borrowed his pen, and he showed me how to do it and everything, and he gives me the price. And okay, so I'm going to stay 2 nights. Okay, get it all done. Well, then I go to get on the bike, and it felt like the back wheel was trying to steer. I looked down and I heard another pop, and I think that's when the other 2 or 3 spokes broke. So I'm like, all I want to do is sit down and get off the bike, right? No. So I'm like, I don't want to break the rest of them. You know, it's bad enough having a few, but so I'm like, all right. Without my weight on it, I could walk it down. Well, it's a really steep hill coming down, so I'm walking beside, and it's awkward walking with the trailer, but got it down here. I'm in the closest spot. It's like that way there's a lot more people, but up on this end it's pretty empty. And so I got kind of close, set the bike down, carried my backpack over here, looked at the spot. Okay, this is the spot. Put the backpack on the table, then walked back because I don't, no sense carrying the backpack again. But I was tired. I stopped to get water, and I solar charged there because I had been pushing. In the morning, I left before I had a full charge. So I pedaled without electrics for a lot of the first hour. It was all level. It was super level the first half. So it was really good conditions. The sun trip, I think, is going to be a lot more hills. They're going to make us work for it. So, but if I can shed some weight on me too, but also on the bike, if I can just get rid of some of the stuff, it should go a lot better. So I'm a guarded optimism that I can pull this off still. Yeah. All right. As always, thanks for all the support. Stay tuned. More. Oh, I named the bike Carlin's Mayhem machine. They one of the organizers was saying that the one thing that they had never really done was to kind of document what people were using as a way to share it with the next race kind of thing. So they give us this whole chart. I'm going to put it up on the website when I get a chance. So they just ask you to list all the parts you used and different things like that, and what motor, what batteries, what solar panel. And I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, I'm not calling it Turtle because Turtle was the other project that didn't work, but it needs a name and I can't just call it the X bike. But when I just sat there and looked at it and like, yeah, Mayhem machine, that seems pretty good. So that's what it is. All right, I'm gonna eat and drink and take a shower. Been a few days since the last shower. Okay.